Alec, welcome back to Black Mirror. All right.
We're back in black right here. Yeah,
All right.
here it is.
Well, if you are just now joining us every week, well, kind of every week, but we alternate between seasons of Survivor and seasons of Black Mirror. Once a week, we'll go through the season, and then we'll switch to the other show. All right, so we're on season 4. I've seen all the episodes. Alec has not taken them through, having fun discussions.
None of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so last week we watched Crocodile.
Which was a fine episode.
It was fine.
It was just fine.
I mean, there's a lot to love about it, but
yeah, it was. It was not like, I guess I put it just above what I would say like the lower tier of the show is what I would say. Which I guess maybe isn't the most fair to it because I think there is a lot of really good elements to it. It's still. But I couldn't really put it too any higher than that, I don't think. So
yeah, once you get into the top half of Black Mirror, they're all killers.
Yeah, pretty much.
And lately, like, we're getting killer vibes from these last few episodes of Black Mirror.
Mm-hmm.
All killers.
Yeah.
That we're following.
Yeah, a lot of killers. That's who we're following. It's very true.
We only follow one killer. The last time it was a bad parent, and then
it was just a bad parent. Yeah.
Time before that, it was just someone who weirdly tortured clones of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but not good eggs. All right.
No.
But we're gonna go into it. Not much to say beforehand. The name of the episode is "Hang the DJ." As always, you click the link in the description to see the highlights of a reaction and come back afterwards for the discussion. All right.
Okay. All right.
Wow, there it is, Alec. Hang the DJ.
I was wondering what's the final twist gonna be? This is like I knew there's gonna be some last twist. There's something weird going on here, and I feel like I need time to sort of like process exactly what happened for a minute. So like
they were in fact in a simulation, is what it was.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So it's like, they say 99.8% success rate. So they played out 1,000 simulations, and 998 of them they rebelled together. So that's their 99.8 success rate.
Yeah.
And then that was all just in the program on their phones that just paired them together, just like that.
Figured that out somehow. So everything we saw was just one scenario in that case, apparently.
It was all just one
or something.
All one simulation out of 1,000 that came together to give them this result in their little dating app.
That's a crazy technology.
Yeah.
That has the ability to take that much of your personality and like determine out of like tons and tons of people of how that happens. That's wild.
Yeah,
kind of mind blowing. It's mind boggling the more you think about it.
Yeah, I personally love this episode. I've always loved this episode. It's always been one of my favorites.
I do too. I think it's fantastic. I thought that was I was enthralled from like the get go. There's so much about it that's just so strange and weird. But like it all kind of comes together and just works at the end.
Conceptually, it's really cool. It's one of those things where I think even with the twist at the end, I don't think it really takes away from what we experienced there. It's still like a beautiful love story playing out, even if it is just one of 1,000 simulations. It's like a beautiful love story, and it's the concept of like you just randomly assigned like someone you're with and for how long. And it really is. It doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense why they're doing the things the way they are. But then by the end, it does make sense because it'll actually. It's like, if this was just the regular world, it doesn't make sense. It's like their whole existence. They didn't have jobs or anything. They were just going on dates and relationships, cycling through miserable ones and stuff. But really, it's all just part of the algorithm. So. Makes sense.
Yeah, which it does make sense. Yeah, that was always like the strange thing. It's like, so what are they like? So I guess they're just here perpetually for years and years and years. That is so interesting that like when you think about like a technology with an application that's able to sort of simulate entire years of your life with various different people to determine like compatibility with another person. That's such an interesting concept.
I think it's a
Like
really
kind of
interesting concept.
terrifying in it, how much it knows about you. Like that part about it is like really scary. Like how much it knows about you. It knows you like to the degree of you will act like this.
Right.
Like, and then we'll run that simulation 1,000 times.
And to like hone in on like this is the person for you, and this is how the you two would operate together.
Right,
And it's
right.
such a beautiful. I think it's actually really beautiful the little love story, because like they do a very good job of showing that they're like comfortable with each other, and there's more
Mm,
chemistry there than the others. Like the next guy she goes on to, she's like obviously attracted to him from the beginning, but then like quickly grows irritated of him, and like
mm.
no one. It was all just like flings, like she's saying, it's all physical stuff. But it's kind of
Yeah,
beautiful
but
how
like
how
this,
it plays out, and I think it's beautiful how it's like they need to rebel. That's the whole thing. They have to be that passionate about it that they rebel from this whole system
right.
for it to be like, okay, this is a successful relationship for them.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. If that's it, maybe that's the whole. Is that I wonder if that's the whole concept of the app is that like the way it runs is that you at the end of it you will not want to be a part of like
Yeah.
you want to love the person that we're matching you with so badly that you would even your simulated self would try to break out of the system that you've agreed to be in.
hmm and then
Um,
in reality, the actual dating app is just a harmless dating app, or just tells
right.
you, all right, this is your match,
Yeah.
99.8%
Here you are.
sure of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're this. Yeah.
There's none of
That's
the
such an
hassle.
interesting thing. Because it's like because like the way dating apps like typically work is so like a lot of them pride themselves on various different algorithms. I've used them plenty of my in my life. I've used them enough to know the ins and outs of most of them, most of the big name ones.
And they're mostly
Um,
not very good in their.
they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad, I would say overall. They're most of them are extremely superficial, and the ones that aren't, you have to pay so much damn money for. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I
When
remember.
you then pay money for it, and then it doesn't do anything for you,
Yeah, I
where you
remember
can't.
going for the ones that are like, okay, this is all like this based on your personality first kind of thing, and they're
Hmm.
supposed to like, once you both match, basically you can start messaging each other, or and it'll
Hmm.
be mostly like it would give you people with like similar interests and whatnot. But still, I found it very. Well, I mean, maybe it was just me on those apps. It was not successful for me at all. But
It's extremely it's so I mean I live in a part of the world that's very I mean I'm gonna be real. There's a lot of people here that just do not they're my particular perspective on the world is not one that is shared with people that live around here. Um, like I I find myself to be a fairly like reserved and conservative sort of person. Um, I we'll just go political. I tend to be pretty I don't want to say apolitical, but like because I tend more libertarian. I'm fine with socially liberal stuff. It's like it's fine and whatever as long as your people shouldn't bother each other.
mhm.
But on other certain things, I'm a fairly conservative person. That is not the way around here. It is. I live in an extremely liberal part of the country, so already I have vastly different perspectives on certain issues compared to most of the women that live in this part of the world. So that already is against me because I can put up with a lot, but I know on their end they're not going to be want to put up with some of the stuff that I believe in, that I think, the perspectives I have. I don't even really want to begin to deal with that. So that already puts me at a disadvantage. Plus, the dating pool around here is already incredibly small because I don't live in a very
They're
populated part of the
incredibly
world either.
ugly. They're ugly as
They're
hell.
all uggos. They're all fatzos. They're no, there's a lot of beautiful women that live around here. I mean, let's be honest. I live really close to like a hospital. Do you know how many? Do you know how many attractive nurses? Do you know how many
I know
attractive nurses
it's a
there are?
profession.
A
It
lot.
just attracts.
A lot.
It brings attractive people. It's a profession. Yeah,
It's just no,
hospitals where
but
the bitches at.
it's yeah, it's just right. It's amen. No, but there's already it's already such a small pool, and then with some or other certain things like quote unquote working against me, you could say it does trim down the options a lot. And now like, so I'm somebody who's like willing to try long distance stuff, but like a lot of people aren't up for that. And also I'm starting to get older now. I mean, I'm not like old,
Yeah.
but I'm starting to get a little older. I'm starting to get a little older, and a lot of the appeal for a lot of these things are more for younger folks who want some flings. You know, your Tinders and your Bumbles and your whatevers are all like they're all they're a lot more superficial than
Right.
Yeah, sort of building towards any sort of lasting relationship. And I'm gonna be real. I'm tired. I'm very tired of them. I'm very tired of that sort of thing in general. So like something like this would be amazing.
Well, yeah, just hands it to you.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. Because like that's like, yeah. So it's fascinating because like towards the beginning, they're talking about like, oh, well, it was so much. I can't even imagine what it was like back then. You know, when we didn't have it as easy, and it sounds like a giant nightmare.
And yeah.
But it's like no, and when you put it in the perspective like that, these simulation people are ultimately the people that are meant for each other according to the algorithm. But like because they've matched their personalities, they've been able to determine that they really are pretty much super compatible. Mm-hmm. Sure, they'll screw up or whatever, but like everybody does.
And it's interesting with them going over their theories that she was like. Mm-hmm. She was like,
they were both right, I guess, to a degree, right?
She was like, maybe this system's just trying to wear us down until we're like able to put up with enough, or basically, you know, like, basically you'll settle for whatever they give you at the end of it was her idea.
Right. Which it's like it is wearing them down, but it's not wearing them down to make them settle. It's wearing them down to only want each other. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of interesting.
It's like maybe we're in a simulation. They even threw that joke in there.
Yeah.
Right there.
But like I like that they threw that joke in there, but like that's what I was thinking like the whole time. I was like, there's just something that's so off about everything going on here.
Yeah, they showed from the beginning where it's like, are we allowed to share food, or like like you didn't know there's some weird rules and like people watching over them, like you didn't know what was going on. No one's going to like do anything but skipping rocks and staying in these living quarters they give them.
She goes for a swim and he goes for a walk, and yeah, it's very, very bare bones terms of activities. Oh, the mixers! We talked about the mixers being like the most awkward things you've ever seen in your life.
I don't know if that was that seemed like maybe it was one of those pairing day ceremonies or something, because they said you would have your pairing day celebration or whatever coming up.
Yeah, but that seems to me to also be like a system derived thing to encourage them to continue to keep a lot. Like it's almost like it's in the algorithm of the simulation to be like, we need to have a reinforcement on the intelligences of these people to be like, you need to keep doing this. You need to keep doing this.
Yeah, like you need to see people sort of actually being successful with it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it was funny because they both had it told both of them that their pairing day would be tomorrow, but they weren't both like, oh, let's just hope it's us, or like, fuck it all, we don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. So.
Yeah. Right. It's such an interesting. Everything about it is just fascinating. It's like it is terrifying though how much it knows about you, where the simulation is basically just has your entire personality uploaded into there to figure out.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So.
And then they named the episode "Hang the DJ," which you don't see till the very end. It's just the music playing.
The song.
when it comes out of the simulation. So that's interesting too. I just really love their chemistry and how that worked.
It was like it really was beautiful because it was so awkward. It was like so kind of cringe and awkward at the beginning, but there was like it was like a wholesome sort of like cringe, where it's just like the uncomfortable first date sort of vibes. And yeah, every time they bumped into each other, or then when they got matched, when they got matched again, it was like, oh, these people are like, this is so meant to be. Like, it's just ridiculous. How it's like they immediately is like, boom, this is like perfect. They're perfect for each other, you know. So it's like that kind of stuff is like, yeah, it's a great episode. I don't know if there's too much more to really go into.
You really feel it when he they say they don't want to look at the expiry date, and he's like, I just have to look,
Mm,
and then it goes recalibrating all the way down from
yeah,
5 years to 20 hours.
everything happens
Those
for a
are
reason.
rough.
So that was the everything happens for a reason. The reason there was it was the test to see if screwing something up was in that way was enough to keep them apart, which it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
So
That's right. I just love it. Everything was so like purposeful and well done because sometimes if you have a wild twist at the end like this, it could just like ruin the whole thing for you. But it really didn't. It was just a nice love story that played out, and then like it's like yeah, it was all a simulation. There's 1,000 of them, but I'm sure the
but
same
it's
thing will unfold with the real people now. Similar thing.
yeah, and I mean, and it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't diminish what we just saw. Like what we just saw was like that is important at reinforcing like this is how the system knows that these people are like this is a great pairing here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if anything, it adds more like interest to it because then it's like okay, so they have to like because the app knows you so well, it like they had to have sort of like allowed it to have these versions of themselves running in a simulation to match with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's really interesting. You don't need any more than that. Like the whole thing that is set in that comes in hanging the DJ. All you
mm,
need is just like, all right, they're gonna date. That's all you need. You saw what
mhm.
how beautiful it can be.
Yeah,
You don't need to know like how do you get the service, how much does it cost, like how does it
right,
operate. It doesn't really matter.
right. Because it's like everything you kind of need to know about it is just here in the episode, I guess. So you can leave. You don't have to explain everything. Sometimes that mystery is makes it more intriguing to think about. So,
It's
um,
a cool little piece of technology, and I just love how like
yeah,
pretty much everything you can like say is weird or off about the episode is explained by the end. It's not like
sure, yeah,
all the awkward like rules and people looking over them and like people not doing anything. It's like it all has a reason. It's not like they just didn't think the world through enough.
yeah, yeah. It's all yeah, yeah. So
It's
very
tight. It's
cool.
tight script. It's a nice chemistry. It's lovely.
Mm.
All right, so let's see. Where are we gonna rank this episode amongst the rest?
Boy, it's tough for me. I'll tell you that right now.
It is tough. So I mean, if you're new, basically our top halves are pretty similar. Our bottom halves are pretty similar. I've got Playtest, White Christmas, Entire History of You, San Junipero, 15 Million Merits, USS Callister, Nosedive, Shut Up and Dance, Be Right Back, Hated in the Nation, Crocodile, White Bear, National Anthem, Men Against Fire, Archangel, The Waldo Moment. And what's yours?
Playtest, White Christmas, Entire History of You, Nosedive, USS Callister, San Junipero, 15 Million Merits, Be Right Back, Hated in the Nation, Shut Up and Dance, Crocodile, White Bear, National Anthem, Mad Against Fire, Archangel, Waldo Moment. This
What?
is like up pretty high for me. This is pretty
Yeah.
high. I feel like this is it's like right around it's near top three, I think. It's up there. It's playing with Nosedive, Callister, and Junipero for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
sort of where it is. I really like this episode. I feel like the sometimes like the positive sort of technology. Yeah, I think there's some strange and creepy maybe undertones with how much it knows about you, but like these sort of like positive kind of like happy ending almost ones are like this kind of a nice there's sort of a nice refreshing take on it, even though there is that the still the black mirror,
Yeah.
the creepy element, the reflection of society.
What's
I think for now I'm gonna put it like just under USS Callister.
number 6 then for you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
That might change the more I think about it, though. We'll see. It's right around in there. It might get above it here. It's tough. It's really tough.
Mine is very high. I feel I've always been like a hopeless romantic kind of. I love love, and after being in a relationship, watching it, this is the first
Mm,
time I've watched it since being in a relationship. I feel like it's even sweeter now. It's like it's really something
mm,
really sweet, really wholesome about it. That what initially just felt like a toxic like system was actually just like a way to show this beautiful relationship. It was really just a tool for that, and it's not about like just forcing them to go through relationships. It's all simulation, so
hmm.
it's nice. It's really up there for me.
Yeah, I think this is one like I'm putting it there, but I think this is one that I'm gonna think about for a while
I'm trying to
because
figure out. I'm either one or two for me. I'm like all the
yeah,
way up there.
yeah, wow.
The DJ, hang the DJ, hang the DJ. Number
Hang the
one,
DJ,
right?
hang the DJ. All right, wow.
Number
Hey, there you
one.
go.
I mean,
Hang the DJ.
I don't think that's a common opinion. I mean, I'm sure most people like this episode, but number
Let
one,
me we can do a really quick look
it's just my
on
personal bias.
Wikipedia's Hang the DJ article. There's ranked as follows on critics of the 23 installments of best to worst: fourth, sixth, eighth, ninth, 10th, 12th, 14th. So it's like it's in like the
Mm.
always in the upper half,
Yeah, that's not bad at all
pretty much.
for an
That's pretty
average,
good.
and like, yeah, it's pretty much right where you have it, assuming like the other ones don't overtake it. So not bad.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought I am also a hopeless romantic like you. I just I'm old and jaded
Mm.
now, so I've more or less shelved. To me, what I'm doing with my life now is I feel like what I need to do is I need to prioritize. Well, we don't need to get into a whole philosophy of it, but I have other priorities that I feel like I'm going to be more focusing on now in my life, because I've more or less accepted that it's wherever I am now is not where it's meant to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's not necessarily geographically speaking. That's just like where I'm with my life because just it's just I can't force something to happen. You know, there's nothing that can be forced to happen. I've tried basically everything that I can, and nothing has happened. So I'm more or less content to a degree with where I am in terms of that sort of thing in my life now.
Mm-hmm.
And but that being said, I still feel you. I still feel you. I'm a hopeless romantic. I cry at everything. So love is beautiful and it's amazing. And I'm very happy for you
Yeah.
and your girlfriend.
There's
So
nothing better than a beautiful love story, you know.
it really isn't. It really is not.
It's just really it's lovely to watch, and I put it at number one just because I maybe if like I look at it on paper, it wouldn't be like objectively the best, maybe, but
Mm.
it just I feel so passionately about this episode. I'm like I've always loved it, so I
There's
have no
something.
problem
There's
putting it up
something. There's something pretty special about it. I think that's where I'm like, man, that's. I mean, it's kind of like I said. That I feel like it's one because of the ending twist. I feel like that's one I'm just gonna have to keep thinking about for a bit, to sort of sit on. But
Like it's just a really well written
it's
episode
good.
and it's lovely to watch. It's not like
Oh
other
yeah,
Black Mirror episodes where it's like there's a lot to like really um like philosophical discussions or like moral things like that. There's not that much to
yeah.
it, but I love it for what it is.
But it's an interesting. It's much like San Junipero. There's a lot of like. It's a love story, and like that's just a. Sometimes that's what you need. That's just what you need to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, well we'll be back next week. Two more episodes left of the season.
yeah,
Right,
wow. We're
is
already
it
more.
5 episodes left of entire Black Mirror? I think there's only 3 episodes in season
Yeah,
five when we get to that.
yeah,
And there is
yeah. Wow.
a movie
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch, right? So
That's gonna be interesting. Are we gonna review that? Because I know that's like a sort of like a choose your own adventure thing.
Yeah, so I'm
So
thinking
how
we'll
are we
just
gonna watch that
I
exactly?
think we'll just do a review of it as like a movie review, because it is like a choose your own adventure style thing, and we'll be able to, since we can't sync up perfectly like we used to with like
Yeah,
Rabbit.
we're just gonna we're just gonna have to watch it more or less and make our own decisions and figure out what our stories are. I guess
So we can
should
throw
be
that in
kind of
between
cool.
seasons because it takes place after season 4. So
Mm,
we can definitely do that. And
yeah,
then probably you could probably throw that. You might as well throw that in the rankings too. It's basically just a slightly longer Black Mirror episode.
yeah.
But yeah. So we're in like very few Black Mirror episodes left. Hopefully season 6 comes out and it goes well at some point.
Yeah, I've heard there's some other Netflix series I was hearing about where they randomized the episode order as well. There's one that just came out recently that did something like that. Like, not that Bandersnatch is like randomizing the order, but like just experimental sort of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show that came out like I think last year, towards the end of last year, that was like that on Netflix where it like I think some episodes always took place the same in everyone's watch order, but they randomized other bits of it
Hmm.
in different with different accounts
Yeah,
basically,
yeah. I feel like
which
I've
I
heard
think
something like that. That is cool.
that's I think that's really cool. I like experimental sort of stuff like that. So
Yeah, because Netflix just like you don't see it often, but it just casually has like this. You can do interactive movies in Netflix, and it's
mm,
just a thing you don't see
yeah,
often. We never
I,
reviewed
I
Puss in Book, which I
yeah, which
think
was
was
a
an interactive one.
which I think it was. Yeah, I there's that is actually one feature at Netflix that I kind of wish it had was a better randomized like take a so like I was just talking with a friend of mine and he was just like I wish there was a way to just I just want to watch a random episode of Seinfeld. I don't care which one. Just give me a random
Hmm.
episode. And you
Yeah,
can't really do that.
yeah. There's no like
So
shuffle option.
yeah,
There's
which
only
I think
you can only randomize like just out of everything, just to give you random
yeah
shit. But
yeah
yeah. All right. Well, excellent episode, man.
was very good. It
A
was
lot of
very good.
fun.
I enjoyed that quite a lot.
All
So
right, so come back next week as always. All right. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this, why don't you go check out our review of Survivor Palau?
yeah, sure,
Of course.
go for it.
You know,
Yeah,
they go hand in
absolutely.
hand.
Give it up. They go. Yeah, I can't imagine a better pairing, really.
And then
Well, hang the DJ.
hang the DJ.
Hang the DJ.
All right, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, like the video, leave a comment, and if you do, be sure to read it in the next episode of the Tarqaron podcasts. All right, hit the notification bell, click the link in the description for our social media, and go hang the DJ.
Yeah. All right. Hang the
All right.
DJ.